the general vibe is just that anxiety to just get on set and do it. So, but that's speaking from my perspective. I'm sure everyone else is fretting.
I had this rough idea for a machine, this machine that can kill by remote. I hadn't figured out how it would do that, but I had just this strange idea about that. And then one day I was talking to a guy called Anthony Egan, and my idea about the killing by remote he thought was really cool. He had something similar as well, so the ideas kind of meshed. And then it was just about, over the next 2 years, creating the story for the script.
What do you want? I just sailed in from down south. I got work for a couple of months. Then I'm off overseas again.
Right, so you're not staying.
Well, that's good.
It kind of follows the story of these two brothers kind of reuniting and then them following the mystery of this murder trail.
Also, like, you've got this strange device, this Levaudemont machine, which is, you know, made in the 1600s and is kind of this crazy kind of antique piece of machinery that is like this voodoo killing machine, and it's just picking off each of the characters one by one, and then the audience is sort of working out who did it and what's going on and why.
And I think that's the whole idea of what Needle is supposed to bring, rather than a horrific you know, death, blood kind of sequence. It's more an intense psychological mind game.
You know, it's all good and well to write your script and have your vision, that's great. But when you get your actors in and they inhabit those characters, I told them, you own those characters, they're yours.
I mean, John's fantastic. He's really open to a lot of ideas, and you know, he's willing to see where we can take our characters.
He is relatively new to the filmmaking industry himself, I suppose, in a way, but has done so much research and work and really knows what he wants to do.
That was good. That was wonderful. I'm very happy. Big explosions.
We are all playing like those sort of archetypal characters that you find in those friendship groups, but the fact that we're so different allows for each of our energies to really play, and then we kind of end up having, yeah, heaps of fun on set, so it's good.
So what, did his heart just gave out, or? I'm sorry. I don't know much more. Yeah, well, you're taking shots, right? You saw his body?
Yeah. Ben is kind of lost, and Ben puts on this front of everything's all right and life's okay, when in reality he's actually masking a deep pain. The only person he has in his life is his brother, who he hates. So we needed an actor that can bring the complexity of that character to the screen, and that was, you know, Michael Dorman.
He's kind of like the one that's in the sidelines, kind of, you know, doesn't want to be a part of it, but is kind of forced to be, and he's got his big brother there to soldier on, and the brothers haven't seen a lot of each other. This is Travis, who's playing my brother in the film. His name's Marcus, and he and I have kind of like this conflict, which has been going on for a couple of years. We haven't seen each other, and it kind of picks up with him coming back into town.
And my character's a bit more of a bloke, sort of, you know. I play a forensic photographer, so I take pictures of dead people, and it's a pretty interesting job, you know.
Can you please call me when you get this message?
Tell her you love her.
Oh, bye.
You gotta do that.
It's been fun, you know. I got two older brothers that always picked on me, so I can get a little payback, I guess, you know.
We cool?
Maybe.
Maybe's good.
Just maybe.
I wanted to break from the American convention that he's got this girlfriend and the relationship is all squeaky clean and perfect. He has a relationship with Mary. She's trying to connect with him. She wants to be his girlfriend, but he kind of pushes her away because every time anyone gets close, they die.
You know, I've had many personal experiences with relationships and things like that where you're trying to work yourself out and you're trying to read the other person, and it's not always easy, and you can't really, you know, count on what's going to happen.
Perhaps you left it a little too late to be making a move, Jed.
The shifting sands of time, Mary, the shifting sands of time.
I would describe Jed as an intellectual, a bit of a dark horse, and someone who's a bit of an observer. I'm a bit of a people watcher, and sometimes, you know, I can keep my own counsel. So I've sort of brought a piece of myself, and I think you do that with every role, you know, you play. So, yeah, there's a bit of me in there, but that's, I think, what, you know, hopefully gives a character its grounding and makes them entertaining.
Babe, I can't stay all the time. Isn't that enough? Hey, Mary, look who it is.
Candy is kind of feisty and enjoys a bit of fun, but at the same time, she feels things very deeply and is obviously deeply affected by the events that occur. No! People who know me well would probably say I'm just as much of a sook off screen as I am on screen. So, I mean, I don't think there's a trick to it. I think just having empathy and an open heart and breathing and relaxing into a scene and trying to be present in the scene as opposed to thinking about, I've got to squeeze a tear out, you know. Just don't even think about it. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. I don't try to. And before the take. No.
You don't look ready to party.
My character has probably got the most, I guess, unique energy in the group. He's quite boisterous, leader of the pack, I guess, you know. If he wants something, he'll go after it.
Ryan's a very physical role, he's into basketball. Nathaniel did a great job on his role. Fortunately, he could play basketball, so when he was playing on the basketball team, it looked authentic.
Le veau du mort. It's French.
Really?
I did a degree in French and been to France a lot. I first went when I was about 8, and then I've gone back throughout my life and spoke French the whole time I was there and stuff. So that definitely helps because I try and imagine the rhythm of speaking French and then apply it to English. It was really weird when I was scared in the pool scene because, you know, I'm meant to be all by myself, and then I look up and think, is there anybody there? And there's 100 people standing right there, and I'm thinking, oh, that's really weird. And I love just swimming around in the pool and doing the crane shots of the crane following me swimming. It was just really cool. And I love having the underwater sequence as well with the cameraman swimming down there with me.
Hey, can I take some real photos of that machine? Feature article. Local
I did a film called Stone Brothers, which shot in Perth 2 years earlier. And we had a WA premiere at a film festival, and John, the director, and Deidre, the producer, were down there for that. And were there for the opening night, saw the film, and I met them at the party afterwards, and they had a chat to me and said, oh, we think, you know, you're the right person for the role of Nelson. I'm like, oh, okay. So they sent a script over, read the script, loved it, and yeah, a couple of months later, I'm back in Perth shooting this. I feel Nelson's sort of the laid-back kind of guy, you know. Like I said, he loves his photography, and I'm sort of a laid-back sort of person in my life, you know. I don't take life too serious.
Smart. Not the left side.
John is a consummate professional. He knew all his lines. He came in like that.
Like Twister.
Paul is someone that can look at a dissected body and drink his coffee and not think twice about it.
Got your ID? Show us. Yep. Forensic said they had some new guy might be coming through. You take pictures, huh?
Ben Mendelsohn as Detective Mears. Again, it was an effortless performance for him. He's just a seasoned professional. He actually enhanced some of the dialogue, his character's dialogue. He played him kind of aggressive as well, brought some anger to the character, and was a pleasure to have on set.
Come on, people, hurry up. Not on vacation yet.
Jane, of course, is an old favourite from the TV series V, where she played the evil ruler of the creatures.
We had a couple of scenes last week with Jane, and it was really comforting to kind of have someone that's staring back at you with so much energy coming at you. That was really, really fun to be on set with her.
You know, credit really has to go to John and Deirdre and Kate, the producers, everyone, for putting together such a well-oiled machine in terms of cast and crew.
We shot Needle in 27 days. Would have been nice to have a couple of extra days, but no, we did finish on schedule and we did finish on budget as well. We had 8 main actors, about 20 other supporting actors. We had up to 60 crew and up to 200 extras at any one time. So it was rather challenging sometimes, especially when you take into account feeding all these people, coordinating them all, and when you've only got 3 people in the office, yes, it was a little bit challenging.
Yeah, you think of every possible worst case scenario, and luckily all that weeks and weeks and weeks of prior preparation has gone into effect, and you end up with something as beautiful as this, like a sunny day. It's pretty cool.
Okay, everyone on set for a line run and block shot.
There's a fantastic sense of energy that comes on the first day of a new job, of any new job, this creative buzz, and everyone's sort of nervously waiting to see how it's all going to fit together. And being in the first scene was really funny. The first take, first scene, first day, and Trilby and I were, all made up, and it was all excitement. And we went to step on, and I actually did get incredibly nervous, and all of a sudden I was like,
First take of the film is always a little bit scary because, well, it's the first time you're bringing the character really out in front of everyone.
I think I had Trilby and Michael on with me, and we all kind of tried to relax each other, and they're both such great actors. I just focus on trying to talk to them and look at them and not thinking about the fact that I was in a new movie and I didn't know anybody. And
Cut. Yeah, that's fine. Very nice. Yeah.
Okay, we're ready.
John and I talked a lot about the look of the film, and we talked about perhaps moving the camera a lot. So, I always thought that there should be all this driving force of the energy of the film and bring that, into our story and into our characters. I just always like the fact that the camera's always moving, always floating around our cast. There's always some sense of tension, as we find out who the potential killer could be. We decided to shoot with the Red One digital camera. We shot a few tests and we decided that the look of it was really, really nice. It had a lovely sort of warm look to it and lovely sort of textures and layers, the way it captures information, and it kind of surprised us in low light, the information that it was capturing.
I really like the Red camera for a Steadicam standpoint because it's a very solid, small, though a bit heavy piece of equipment, and because it is so solid and well balanced that it works well on the Steadicam because it gives the Steadicam a good balance and a good field of momentum, so it's not wobbly. It's a lot better than the first generation of high def cameras, which were the Betacam style. It reminds me more of the Aeroflex BL1 and BL2, which I started my career with back in the mid-'80s.
The other thing about Needle is that I've still managed to be able to pull in some sort of, big movie equipment. Like occasionally we budgeted for a few crane shots over the period of the 5-week shoot. And yet sometimes it's just very hands-on and very organic and handheld and kind of rough style. So I've sort of mixed the styles a little bit, and I think it's quite interesting, through the flow of the film, the energy.
Turn over. Oh dear. Cutting. Hold the roll.
Well, shooting in Perth is always a challenge with locations from the sound department point of view in respect to extremities a la train lines, buses, planes, the whole gambit. And we've had some big wind noises too, big wind days, which have been a bit of a challenge when actors are underneath trees and with wind blowing and so forth.
It's a beautiful day except for this wind, eh? Needle is set in Perth, and I've been asked why set in Perth and not Sydney, Melbourne, LA, Canada or Antarctica. I think it's really that, not many people have seen Perth, and it's a beautiful place, and why not shoot it here, So there's also the other thing is it's close to my home, so I like to shoot near where I live. It's probably the reason.
I think Perth provides a fantastic backdrop for the film, and it has an eerie sort of isolation about it, which I think is quite wonderful for a film of this genre.
Perth has a similar climate to Los Angeles, only a little bit better. The ocean is a lot better, the beaches are nicer, and there's a lot less crowds here.
It's beautiful, despite all the flies and bugging the crap out of me.
Whenever you're working in Perth, you always have to start again, because we don't have the facilities of a major city. We don't have prop houses, we don't have places which are used to dealing with film crews where you can go and hire a lounge suite or a 1930s divan or whatever. You've got to go out and explain it to people when you walk into the shop and you give them a card and you say, I'm working on a film. And then they go, oh really, who's in it? And this routine happens and people, but you always start from that level every time you do it. And that's always the challenge. And at the end of this film, all this stuff will go back to other places or be thrown away, the set will be trashed, and next time we do it, we start again. So it's one of the difficulties of working in Perth is we haven't got the infrastructure which you get in a bigger, more central city like Sydney or Melbourne. John's vision for the film is very much in the American style. And we were looking for something which looks like an American-style college, and St George's filled the bill beautifully. It's red brick and it's got vines and it's got a quadrangle and it looks old. And party scene, of course, we had to decorate with the lights and so on and furniture. We set that one up beautifully and we had everything prefabbed, all the lines, all the festoons were measured out and ready to go. So setting it up wasn't that big a job, but the rain was a pain in the neck because we had no plan B. And no way of covering it, so we just stood there and watched the paper lanterns dripping with rain and hoped that when we turned them on, they would come on, and they did, which was a miracle. It was very, very surprising. But yeah, no, it was very, it was one of those moments. You get that in the film industry, that things like that happen. But we got away with it, thank goodness, yeah. And this is the one and only set build on this shoot. We looked at the script and thought we need to have full control of this particular set. There's a lot happens in here. As you see the movie, there's the climactic fight scene, etc., etc. You really can't do that on a location.
That was sort of a difficult scene to kind of process, and not only that, but just shooting at, you know, night shoots, and it's freezing cold, and you know, you're scraping your knees and your ankles, and you're crying, and it's just all the elements of making a good horror film were there. It's just long, very long.
And action.
Now this may look like just a regular everyday sort of shovel, but it's actually made of a polyurethane which makes it bendable and pliable. So when the actor comes up behind another actor and goes to slam them on their heads, they won't be concussed and injured as they would with a real shovel. We've come up with the hero box, which is the main feature in the entire film. I'd say there'd be over maybe 100 hours put into just this box alone, creating the mechanical mechanism that allows this whole box to run. As you can see, there are LED track lighting inside, along with mechanical cogs and actuators for secret compartments. Everything you can see here is constructed out of a type of plastic, a polyurethane plastic that we use quite often in the effects industry. We made, of course, these other two to look almost identical for cutaway shots and other shots where we not required the expensive hero. These will be immersed in water later on, so we give them this box, which is more sturdy. We can pretty much do whatever we like to it, and if that breaks, it can be easily repaired in a matter of minutes, or we just give them another standby box.
We're working with voodoo dolls, so you can kind of do anything. Whatever you do to the doll happens to the person. So kind of, you know, twist like these ones with the dolls, twisting of heads and pulling things apart, and you know.
Myself, Anthony Egan, we sat down and devised the demise of a number of our characters, and yes, we threw ideas around as, you know, what about this way or what about that way, and you know, imagine being killed by the machine as you're, you know, on a climbing wall, stuff like that.
Hi, I'm Paul Caddy from Makeup Effects Group. This is Catherine Brown.
Hello.
And this is Luke, our actor. We're just doing his prosthetic neck for his final demise, which is basically a silicone prosthetic which will attach to a severed body torso section which is on set at the moment. And we're just blending this into the neck and getting it ready for the final scene.
Started with my chest. I get a big slash across my chest, 3 sort of different areas, and the guys had tubes at the back of my shirt, pumped the blood through syringes, and it just slashed my chest. It looked, awesome. So yeah, we did that, and then we also did my arm snapping off, which I thought was the best. A couple of weeks previous, I went into Sydney to the special effects guys, and they did a cast of my arm, an exact copy of it, and yeah, snapped it in half. Blood everywhere, you know, I had to scream and yell like as if it was for real. And I drew on my personal experience. I had an injury when I was 16. I played rugby league as a kid, and I had a compound fracture of my humerus. So I sort of went with the feeling of how that felt.
When we finish Luke's makeup here, we'll put him on set where his torso will be, and that is essentially on a fake floor. We'll use Luke's head and this prosthetic neck, and we're going to bring the torso into here and blend this neck onto the torso. So in other words, he'll be messed up.
Ryan dies after basketball training. He goes for a run in the park by himself, which is probably not the best thing to do when you're in a horror film. I had to do a lot of running, which I did a little bit of, I guess you'd call training for. But on the day I couldn't run as fast as I wanted to because the poor guys pushing the dolly couldn't keep up, so I had to push it back, maybe run like 40%. But a lot of the shots were quite elaborate, so it took a lot of time. So I remember the day that we did do my death scene, we were running out of light. We're actually running out of darkness, should I say, because the sun was coming up. So we had a really short turnaround and we had to do the death scene really quick. The worst thing about the whole experience of dying on camera is that you're covered in blood, and that blood takes forever to get off. Like, the only thing that you can get it off with is shaving cream. So the morning that we finished the shoot, it was like, I don't know, 6 a.m. and I was in a cold shower just scrubbing my body with shaving cream for a good 40 minutes.
It all helps you to get into character, and when you see the stuff that the Meg guys can do, the special effects and the blood, it takes you, you know, right to where you need to be as an actor. You don't have to imagine all that stuff going on because it's there and it looks so real. I mean, these guys are just so professional at what they do.
Audiences are in for a very exciting thrill ride.
A few scares along the way.
People losing lives, somewhat gorily.
There's a little bit of blood, and there's a lot of blood.
They're going to see stuff they've never seen before, very spectacular kills.
A little bit of romance maybe as well. Bit of love, no goes astray.
Ben! This was found in a storage unit belonging to your father.
What is it?
We don't know. We thought you might like to keep it.
For 200 years,
What's this? That's the last of my dad's estate.
its existence has been a mystery.
Creepy. This was your dad's?
Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
Move in. Smile.
But now, 7 friends will discover
The machine was built as a tool for revenge.
the terrifying truth.
It's gone.
revenge on us.
Can't stop this.
Needle. In this hotel, it's not what you see. It's not what you hear. It's what you fear most. That won't let go. From the Pang brothers, award-winning directors of Bangkok Dangerous, The Messengers, and The Eye. Fear.
Oh, Jesus, you are our hope.
Rise, brothers and sisters!
Lord Jesus, bless this child.
I'm not going crazy, Father.
You gotta listen to me for a second, Michael. I've seen this before. There was this boy, Daniel.
Son, you can't hide from me forever.
The boy claimed that he was being haunted by a demon. Father Phineas focused on guilt and sin. It only gave the demon more power. Father Phineas failed.
I'm damned, Father. And you, my priest, have failed me. Just like you have always failed.
What happened to the boy, to Daniel?
It was something I never want to see again.
Confess. Tell me. And you accept sin in your life. There's no hope. There's only God's will. Your time is up. God's will cannot be questioned.
In this ordinary town,
It's nice to see you again, Cole.
It's good to finally be here.
hidden within these walls, there lies a dark secret. But what began as isolated events
Do you think the facility has anything to do with these disturbances?
I can't comment on that.
will become an experiment in pure terror.
These guys are supposed to be curing a disease, not infecting people with another one.
It hurts, Mom! What the hell is he doing?
Psychic experiment.
No shit.
I was young, I did a silly thing.
Not dwarf porn.
Now then, where's the birthday princess? And as I always say, gotta split the pot to get the peas out.
Let's just say I deal in certain commodities.
Here, try that. Come and give your mummy a kiss.
Connected by the past. Entwined by the future.
You killed her!
Tangled up rather awkwardly.
That was an accident.
By a secret they all share.
What did about murder?
Prepare yourself for an uncomfortably funny series.
You killed...
Hang on, let me grab a biro.
Oh, forget it.
Psychoville, Tuesdays at 10:30, 7:30 Pacific on FearNet.
Epix. The first premium channel that's not just on television. Wow. It's on TV, on demand, and online.
Give it a try.
Thousands of HD blockbusters.
It's like they're scared of something.
Precious! Real woman sacrifice!
You got it.
Oh, yeah.
Till death do us part. From Hollywood's biggest studios. TV everywhere right now.
Wow, that felt really good.
Bravo. Box office hits.
It's rad. It's awesome.
Exclusive concert events with Grammy Award-winning superstars. Comedy specials featuring the best voices in comedy.
I love it. How dare you?
It's insanity. Plus, unprecedented access to Hollywood's biggest stars.
Did I say we were done?
EpixHD.com gives new meaning to social networking. And for the first time, truly share the experience online.
So if you don't see it on cable, you can catch it on the computer. Isn't that genius? That's the way everything's moving now.
More world television premieres. More HD streaming online.
Boom!
The most HD movies on demand. Epix. Big on any screen. Call your TV service provider to order Epix.